Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Scale Riders Podcast. I am your host, 65 Lokes, and I'm here with my guest, Jarvis Malone. What's up, Jarvis? How you doing?
Hey, how's it going? How you doing, everybody? Hey,
Nice.
so how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm so happy that we're doing this episode because I've been following your work for a very long time. I think everybody who's going to be watching this knows who you are. Especially from the Lowrider Bicycle magazines being featured on there,
Mhm.
and seeing a lot of your work at the shows here in Southern California. And I mean, there's a lot that I definitely want to get into in this episode. Because this is the first time we have you here on the podcast. We've had other guests, Armando Flores,
Oh yeah,
one of your friends, Gary Seeds, and I've
yeah.
always been like, man, we need to get Jarvis on the podcast. So
But thank you very much.
yeah, no, man, it's an honor. It's an honor to
Glad to
have
be
you
here.
here with us. And I wanted to kind of, like everything, I wanted to know, Jarvis, like, what was it that got you into scale model building?
What that question is a hard question. I just because I'm from the South, right, Tennessee, and I guess when I was younger, my stepdad was in the military, so I used to go to the base a lot, and they had a hobby store there and a toy store. So I went in there one day and I seen the model cars. So from that point on, I started building models back in the summer. I was like 14 years old then. And back then it
Oh,
cost like $2 for a
man,
model.
man, it's a trip, right? Like the prices, how they've changed from then to now.
Oh heck yeah! But if I had known then, I mean, I'm sorry, if I had known now what I know now, I would have bought up all those 74s and 75 caprices and stuff, impellers, save those suckers and sell them like $400 a piece.
Yeah, and as far as like the builds, like was building lowrider cars always more of the interest of the models that you were more interested in building, or were you just kind of like testing the waters in all the different genres of cars?
But when I first started, by being from the South, it was more of a hot rod thing and trikes, motorcycles and trikes. So I started doing those. And then I moved to California in 1976. And that's when I first see my first lowrider. And I go, what kind of car is that? My friend said, that's a lowrider. So ever since that point on, I've been basically building like lowriders.
Man, that's so dope. Yeah, as a kid, I would see lowrider cars, and when I started to get introduced into building model cars, my interest was always like the lowriders. I would rarely, I'd see some hot rods, but they wouldn't really like get my attention. It was more the lowriders. So when I finally got my hands on a lowrider bicycle magazine, I was just blown away by like the kind of work that was being, like put on the magazines. I was like, oh man, just like flipping through them. And one of the features that you were in is I'll never forget this cover. I think this cover is very iconic, especially because of the bike
Uh-huh.
that's on this.
Oh
You
yeah.
obviously, it's a lowrider bike, and then these like swords right here that pop
Mhm.
up, and
Oh
you're
yeah.
just like, wow, right? And it's one of those things.
Actually,
I mean, look at your you have a 59. You're 59
yes.
here on the cover.
Yeah, I was
And
surprised about that.
one of the things that just makes this look so good is the colors, how they put your 59 and the bike, they complement each other. And
Hmm.
even that backdrop, even this fade right here of the lettering on it,
Oh
right?
yeah. That was
So
nice.
it's one of these things, like you're flipping through the magazine, and when you get to your article, it's like they have you here with all these cars right here. And I was like, man, that's a lot of model cars.
Hmm.
And I mean, this was Nathan Trujillo took these photographs. Um
Yes.
I got to interview him on episode 100, some years back.
Hmm.
And can you take us back to this time? I don't know if you could remember like how it went down. Like how'd you get connected, and how'd this come to life?
Well, back then I was in a mini truck club called Just Us San Diego, and I had some friends that also own a body shop called Cruising Connections. And it was Tom, um, Ambi, rest in peace, and uh, what's the other guy's name? Give me what's his name? Oh, I got George. But anyway, so they what they was doing at the time, they was working on the lowrider mini truck, the S10, the black one or a dark blue one that it was doing. They were doing the interior on that. So I had a couple models in a shop that I had made for them. And the guy came in there and said, "Hey, who made those models?" And said, "Oh, our friend did." "Oh, well, we gonna start this magazine up. You think he wants to be in the magazine?" So I tell him. So I met him and stuff. The next time they came out, came down there and they said, "Oh yeah, we'll put your models in the magazine." I said, "Cool." I said, "Well, how many should I bring?" He said, "Well, bring many as you want." So I said, "Okay, I'll just bring them all." So when I bought them all, he's kind of like tripped out because he thought I had like 10 or 15, but I had like about maybe it was over 100 there, I think. And my friends laid out a piece of plyboard there or some horses, and I just made like a little car show. And it's all
Man,
started from there.
that's crazy. Yeah, one of my friends, I was mentioning to him, that we were going to be doing the episode, the interview tonight, and he brought up that 59 that we see here, and he said, when I saw that 59 in the magazine, the way it was colored in stance, it made me go out and buy that 59 model kit. And
Yeah,
when he was telling me that, I kept thinking, man, I
certain
wonder
things.
how many people you inspired to go out and buy these kits.
Mhm. Well, it's a hobby that I like to do, and if people like my work, that's awesome. I'm happy, and I'm happy to get people started in the model car building. And I have a couple of friends that start building model cars too from me telling them how to do stuff. They've been building model cars since then. So
Yeah,
it's an honor.
yeah, that was something I wanted to know is during that time when you were in that article on building models, was it something you were just kind of doing on your own, or did you have other friends doing this as well?
Well, that time I was kind of doing it on my own, basically. That's for before I started going to shows and stuff. And I met a few guys that I think I started going to this hobby store in Clement Mesa called I forgot what it's called. They made a discount hobbies, and they started having shows. So I started going to shows, and I met Gary Seeds through all the time. I met David DeBaca and a few other guys. A couple other guys. I can't remember their names. They would be on more cars too, but not particularly low riders, but other cars. So I got to know them pretty good. And as time went on, I met more people down the road, like Amanda Flores a few years later.
Man, that's a trip. Like all you guys are still building models to this day. You guys were doing it then. It's like it's just been a part of your life.
Oh yeah.
And it's some. Did you ever at some point ever stop building models?
Well, that's a good question. When I was 14, I came to California. It was like a life change for me. I said, "Oh man, this is awesome out here." So I stopped building malls and made it for like 3 or 4 years. I started back, and then I stopped again. Then I got a real car, and I got I love Lincolns, I love T-Birds, but unfortunately, I didn't get one of those cars till later on in life. But I got a mini truck, so I started doing mini trucks. I was a mini truck club called Just Us. Like said, we started doing that like '86. And I wasn't really building models. I had already built them already, and I built one here and there, maybe once in a while. And then I got say 1993, about 100 Civics. So that's when I started building more models. And that's when I got in the magazine. That around that time. So
Wow.
I'm sorry.
How was it seeing your stuff on print, like on a magazine? Did you ever like think that this was going to be reaching out to a lot of modelers out there throughout the United States?
What I had no idea. I just know I had like a lot of friends in like in the lowrider community, like the real cars. So, I always seen about the magazine, but the bike magazine was something different. I go, oh, okay. But back then they also had magazines out like Auto World, where you can buy park cars and stuff, malls and stuff. They had a couple other magazines too. Like I think Mall Car magazine was out, and Scale Models was a magazine I think was out. And I have a lot of those old magazines too. And because I bought every magazine. I probably went to every hobby store that I could find that was driving distance. Even up in uh, San Jose. I got a aunt up there, so I went to visit her, and my cousin said, "Hey, take me to this hobby store." He said, where? I said, hobby store. It was like close to San Jose. But anyway, it was. I've been. It's just a hobby I like to do. I still do it now. I do a lot more now than I used to do. I think once I got the magazine, I was hooked again. So I never stopped after that. I slowed down a little bit, but it just like before I used to be like a model a week.
Dang, dude, a model a week? That's
Yeah, I
crazy.
just come home from work and just
Hmm.
uh go paint it. What I do, I paint like 4 or 5 models when it's hot,
Hmm.
and I let them dry out there in the sun, and then I put them together. Uh, I come home from work every day working them all till like maybe 3 in the morning. I sleep 3 hours, get up and go to work again. But I was single then,
Yeah.
living at home.
Yeah, that time. Right
Yeah,
on.
no, it's a little different now.
No, that's cool. Yeah, but it's like when you see your cars, there's a style that you do. I don't know. It's just like you have this like realistic style true to what it would be, and it's like what you saw, what you grew up with, like seeing cars in the streets and everything. The on the model car, I mean the car shows, it's like you're bringing these cars to life, and you're making it look like as to what it would look like, and man, they just they look nice. Like everything flows together, nothing looks off, everything just looks like really good. How from that time to now, like are you happy? Are you feeling about like the wheels that are so accessible now by like Gavin, like the lowrider model car parts out in Japan?
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, that's what we needed because back then, say when I just do lowriders, I just buy this car for the rims and buy. And I think back then we used to use washers or we use those two those back and front tires from the '57 Chevrolet lowrider kit back in the days. So I used to buy like 10 of those and just for the tires and use those tires or put on those. It was a Corvette, it was a 4-door Corvette that came out with spoke rims. So I used that for spokes. And what else? I used the spokes. Then Pegasus came out, of course, with their spokes. And then, they was it was nice then, but then Gavin. Well, actually, Jeffries came out his wheels first. So I bought a bunch of Jeffries wheels. They're more to scale for the cars for the lowrider style, and then Gavin came out with his. I know, so I buy a lot of Gavin stuff, a lot of lowrider model cars, parts and wheels and stuff. So uh, these guys are just made the industry a lot better than what it used to be for lowriders and stuff.
Yeah, did it also make you kind of revisit some of your favorite builds, previous ones, just to kind of swap out the wheels?
Yeah, yep, that's right. I have some cars. I'm gonna take this car and change the wheels on it. I did like at least a good, I said a good 20 of those.
Hmm.
Yeah, but see, but think about sometimes people ask me, how do you paint your cars? I said, I use a can. I said, use a can? I said, yep. I said, I don't use airbrush because I didn't know how to use one. Only car I used the airbrush on was the Honda Accord, the blue one. I used the airbrush on that one. It's the first time I used the airbrush and the only time. Because a guy I know, his name was Jesse Homicius. He had a hobby store in Escondido. So I used to work there on weekends just to help him out and set up. Mall cars had went downhill a little bit because of the video games industry came out. The people started buying video games and the malls kind of like went down. So he would pay me with mall cars. So I thought, well, that's fine. I'm just having a good time. So I'm like a kid in the candy store. There's malls everywhere. And he's showing me stuff. So I paid the Honda and I like how I did it, but he gave me an airbrush one day, but I never used it. So till this day, I never used it. One time, I still got it, just still sitting in the box. Because but anyway, I've been using cans like for my whole life, basically. But now I'm getting more better at using the can. I'm masking it off better. Like I did this car right here. You want to see it real quick?
Yeah, let's
Like
check it out. Take it away. Tell us about it.
last week. Oh, give me a second here. Take it off the shelf.
Yeah, go for it, man. I'm
Yeah.
excited. We're gonna start to see some model stuff right here, some sneak
So it's a
peeks.
Toyota, you know. So my thing is Lincolns, T-Birds, Toyotas, and Hondas. In a second here. So let me see. That's right there. So I use this here. I bought some masking tape by Tamiya, and I learned how to use it pretty good. And I just spray my flake, which is a dusty diamond can paint, of course. And I just use that. Then I put a coat of clear over it. Then I just mask it off, trying to do some kind of designs on it, and I just paint the blue over that, and took it off maybe like 30 minutes later. So when it gets easy to take off, then I painted more clear on it. So now I just got to wet sand it. But this is for a future build because I have a good. I mean, I said I have like over 200 models already made in my house right now, and I have probably like another good 100 that I've been working on for years. Just paint just sitting there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, man, that's
Oh,
nice. No, I like it. I didn't want to take the screen away right there on the focus on the car, but
okay.
regarding paint, can you tell us the rattle can? What kind of paint are you using? What brand?
Well, I used to use testers, but then testers paint master. Now I use let me see. I use extreme lacquer. Let me get this out here. This kind right here.
Oh, I see that. All right. Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So put my phone back down a bit so you can see me better. Yeah, this that's what I use. But I've been talking to my friend Amanda Flores. Uh, I met him a few years ago back at this show over there in I think it was Ontario over there. I forgot what show it was. I met him for the first time. So we've been friends ever since then, basically. So he told me, he said, "Hey man, you need to buy you an airbrush. I'm gonna teach you how to use the airbrush." I said, "Yeah, okay." But so far, I finally got one like a couple weeks ago. So I'm gonna go to Amanda Flores class of painting one of these days,
Oh,
and
that's
hopefully by
awesome,
then,
man.
yeah,
Dang,
hopefully I
I
get
want to
better.
see that whenever you go down to his studio. I want to check it out.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna try to paint better. Like
Hmm.
I'm not gonna be no Amanda Flores, no Gary Season, nothing like that there. But I'm gonna try to do my best
Yeah, yeah,
to
no,
uh,
definitely.
to paint better.
Hmm.
Try to do some designs. Do some kind of like but I'm not sure what they call it, the paint jobs, but
Hmm.
some designs and stuff, fadeaways, that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. During the build process, what happens to be like one of your favorite practices? Like every time you're working on a new build.
Uh, I try to make it as more realistic as possible. 'Cause I'm not like I said, I'm not one of those talented painters, so I try to make my paint flow good. Like I said, I paint when it's hot, so I painted my car outside, and then I take it to my truck and put it in the truck when the truck is hot, and it kind of like bakes the paint pretty quick. So sometimes I gotta get a good shine. Sometimes I have to polish it up. But yeah, that's basically what I do.
Are you using like the back part of the truck, like the
Oh no, no,
like?
no. I paint outside in the open air.
Mm,
No, what they call it? No paint booth, none of that kind of stuff. I paint outside when it's like no wind. So that's when I paint. When it's no wind, I paint in the backyard or front yard. And then once I finish putting that one coat on there, I go stick it in the truck. It's not the cab because it's warm and it's dry. And I let it sit for like 20 or 30 minutes, come back, put like another coat on, and just do that for like maybe about 3 or 4 coats. And then if it's like I like it, I go back and do it again with the clear. And that's it. It's a straight paint job. Like the Toyota I just showed you, that's the first one I really did with the graphics on it since maybe like or try to do it like a good 10 years.
Man, that's crazy. And back then when you were going to like these model shows like in the 90s, how was that? Like was it very inspiring? Were you like,
Oh
"Oh
yeah.
man, like just to see like that kind of level of builds out there."
Oh yeah. I was like, like I said, Gary C's, the Mundo Flores, and uh, there's a bunch of other guys. I can't think of the names right now at the time, but just like all those other guys from all the other clubs and the guy with the hot rod paint jobs and stuff. I go, man, one day I want to get those kind of like nice, clean, glossy, shiny paint jobs, and maybe one day I can do some patterns and stuff. But I'm trying to get there. It's taking me a while, but I'm trying to get there to that. I won't get to that status, but I'm trying to get close as possible.
Yeah, man, you gotta do it up. I mean, I still remember, going to some of the local model shows, and it was the the Cadillac Fest. I
Mhm.
remember I got to see you there, but we didn't get to like meet, officially. Like I saw you
Right.
and I was like asking Armando, like, hey, is that Jarvis over there? He's like, yeah, yeah. And you were bringing out your Cadillacs, and it was like where Armando did this display. It was the Whittier Boulevard. It was like another year, and he had this like square like display where it was gonna be nothing but Cadillacs all
Oh
around.
yeah, I
And
remember that stuff.
I remember you brought a Cadillac. I believe it was like a gold Cadillac. It looked really nice, and everyone else. And I brought a Cadillac too, but I was just like it was just like I was tripping out. I was like, oh man, that's awesome. That you were out there supporting him and bringing out your models. And then later, even after that, I started to see you more at other shows right there. And little by little is like when we started, like, we finally like officially met like in person, and we started chopping it up like every time we saw each other at a show. And the last time we got to hang out was at the SoCal Open
Oh
this
yeah,
in May. And that
yeah,
that
that
was
was a good show too.
yeah, that was nice. When you go to the model shows, like, I mean, you have such a huge, extensive collection, and every year you're busting out with new models. Like, is it hard deciding like which ones am I going to take to this event this year?
Well, sometimes it is, yeah, because I'm trying to take the best ones possible, and not to take them twice in a row, to the same show or different shows. Because sometimes, you see the same guy sometimes at some certain shows, but you want to take the same car every time. I mean, you can. I mean, I do it every once in a while, but I try to take different cars. And I have a few cars that haven't took the shows yet, but because, well, like me, so for instance, I go to a show, like the SoCal show we went to like a while back, we went to over there in Chatsworth. So I see cars there, other people's cars. Oh man, that's a bad car. I'm gonna go buy that car and try to do that car, you know, for the next show. And then I get it, and then I look on Instagram, see somebody else have a car coming out. I say, oh man, that's a nice car. Let me go buy that car. Try to do that car. So it's like my mind interest in building more cars is so wide range. That's why I have so many projects. Because I go, okay, this car's nice. But like so for instance, that blue car I just showed you a few minutes ago, I the day before I painted a same car, but an orange, just plain orange, same kind of paint brand. But then I said, you know what? It's still hot. I'm gonna do another one. So I went to the hardware store and bought another kit. They had one left there. I bought that kit, brought it home that day and painted that color blue. So it's just one of those things where it's in the blood now. And like I said, I used to build more cars for a long time. Then I got my real car and stuff. And then I took a break, but yeah, I got some stuff coming up for next year. I'm trying to work on.
Yeah, that's awesome. And like building model cars, all this time, obviously there's a discipline, with building model cars. You have to follow steps, before you get to that next step. And every build we seem to be learning more and more and more. What has scale model building helped you in your, like professional life, like your daily job, or even just like day in, day out, like tasks that you have to do?
Well, my job that I do now is I'm a My company sells to the military store exchange stores, and we do American Eagle clothing, and we used to do like we still do electronic stuff. So when I go to do my store service, kind of like merchandising my product, I want to make sure it looks nice and neat, the best as possible, and so if people just see it and it's, oh, this is nice, how it's nicely folded and how it's like in order, that kind of stuff. It's like you want it to look as best as possible.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, because it I remember Armando pointing that out to me like a while back when he was showing me some stuff, and he used to say like, you, you start to learn these steps, and then you'll start to apply them in your life. Like you'll just become part of your lifestyle, with things
Yeah.
that you do. And I at the time it didn't really click yet. I was just like listening and observing. But then later, as I started going back to doing things that I used to do, or even venturing into new things, I started to notice like now I was more patient. Now I was following the steps. And like how you're talking about presentation, that was like the next thing. I wanted things to look a certain way. Even just things around the house. I was like, oh wait, let me clean up, let me set this up, let me organize all this stuff right here. And it all, like, like you said, it's part of that presentation, so it looks nice.
Yeah, because when you go to a mall car show, you want a clean model. You don't want to be all dusty and dirty. You want it to look as best as possible. That you can't do it. So I mean, there's guys who are like totally awesome, like Amanda Flores, Gary C's. Those guys are flawless. There's like a lot of other guys too. I can't think of their names right now, but I know I'm trying to get to their level. So I'm trying to do my stuff as good, best I can to present my stuff as like as good as theirs, or at least close to it, where we have an appearance. Say, okay, that's a nice clean model too. Like you like my Cadillac, and thank you for that. But I
Yeah,
don't have it
yeah.
anymore. It's my wife now. She wanted that car, so I gave it to her.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice of you. Yeah, like when you get started, a lot of the times you have these pressures of like, man, I can't do this. Like you're trying to do something, and you keep trying on it. It's gonna take time to get there. When did you feel like, all right, I feel like I kind of reached that level of like satisfaction where I'm happy with how the model's coming out now, and I know I'm gonna continue learning, but for now I'm just enjoying this right now. It's not a headache anymore.
Well, to go back in time a little bit, when I first started going to shows, I said, okay, my models look decent, but when I get to the show, these guys' models look awesome. So I go home, I practice, try to get mine as good as theirs. So now then I couldn't open doors and stuff, couldn't open doors and trunks and all that kind of stuff. Couldn't open hoods where they're not meant to be cutting open, but you cut them open and make hinges on them. So now I'm doing good. I'm doing a lot like better than I used to do years ago. And now they have 3D print models. Those are kind of hard to cut out sometimes. So you got to be careful with those. So I'm at a good point where I can kind of hang a little bit up there with some of the big guys. But I mean, I still got a ways to go. But with the paint, I have the ideas to do uh what's that word you want to say, like cut the doors open and customize it. You know, fill in the gaps, fill in all that kind of stuff and the moldings, and I can do that kind of stuff pretty well. It's just the paint that's I'm trying to get to that status. But everything else, I'm pretty good with it. I'm pretty okay with it. You just got to take your time.
Yeah, I'm looking at one of the El Caminos from the magazine right here, and just that rear, like that setup, with the speakers, the pump setup, and all that. These kind of setups at that time, I always wondered, like the material, like what are they using? Because the photos on some of them, you would get some
Mhm.
big photos, and then there's some that the photos would be very small, and
Oh yeah.
you would just have to be like kind of staring at this thing really close, trying to figure out like, man, how do they do this? Was it hard to find the materials? What, obviously, I feel like you just had to be very creative to find little things to make this happen. But was that
Well,
was that like a difficult task to do?
well, not really. My mom was she was a seamstress, so she taught me how to sew a little bit. So when I went to the fabric store, I but again looking at the real cars, the real lowrider cars out there, and going to shows and stuff. I wanted to get that crushed velvet material kind of like. So I went to the fabric store and bought a fabric that's closest to the cars that's in real life cars. And I just got some glue and just glue it on. I cut it to size, and trim it with some good, much as possible. And that's how I did it. And then they came out with fuzzy fur, the Ken's fuzzy fur later on in years. So I started, start using that stuff too. And now they have this some foam stuff also now where you can make biscuit material or biscuit designs and stuff like that. So and Mother Flores taught me how to do that, to do the biscuits design. So I'm trying to affect that a little better.
Yeah, this I'm gonna bust out another magazine. So this is
Okay.
another one that you are featured in right
Oh,
here.
okay. Yeah, okay.
So this one, guys, let me for everyone that's watching this right now. This came out November December issue of 96. This is
I was young
1996
then.
right
I
here.
was young.
And let me bring up the first one too. Let's see. So the very first time you were featured in the magazine was fall of 94. Dang. 1994 right here, guys. And so all right, so this one here, another article that you were featured in right there.
Mhm.
And I gotta ask, do you still have like the desk or any of the shelving or the displays that are in the photograph
Uh,
by any chance?
no, no, I don't have none of that stuff.
Yeah,
I have
man.
some. See, my magazines are. I have the
Yeah,
magazines
because
that are packed up.
you can see the stack of magazines right
Mm.
here. That's pretty
Um,
cool. Like references. I That's the Bel Air kit I keep talking about. This AMT, the blue one, the 62
uh,
Bel Air. I just
okay, yeah.
love the box art on that. And then you have all your models in the cases here, some posters, some trophies, and then man, I see you got the Thump Records, the old school volume 1 and 2 artwork. The I still have that CD till this day, the volume 1. I
Yeah, I
could
have those
tell you
things
were
too.
listening to those CDs right there.
Well, I'm a low rider guy at heart. Low rider, main truck guy at heart, compact car. So that's my style of music right now. The good old
Yeah.
soul music, cruising music.
So reading this article, back then it was saying that you were using a medium camel hairbrush to paint the models.
Oh,
Um, and because it says there's a quote here where someone says, "Hey, this is the 90s. What is this guy doing with a paintbrush?" Did you were you painting models with like a handbrush during that time?
well, I was doing both can and paintbrush. Like
Okay.
I was doing like the few cars I did.
Hmm.
I used a paintbrush. So I painted the flake. Like the glitter. So it's kind of thick. So I painted the model. And in fact, I got one. I'll show you. Give me a second.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, this is pretty cool because so you guys could see, guys. I'm gonna take photos of this too, and I'm gonna put it on our Facebook page. Sorry, guys, real quick. I wish I had another camera connected so I could zoom in on that. But there's just a lot of cool details right there that he adds in there, and I'll try to read some stuff from here.
See this car
And
right here? Real quick. This is by hand. I sprayed on the glitter, and I just painted the yellow over it. If you can see that person, you will see the way it has like spotches where it's kind of like the black missing the paint. You can't really see it that close. See, it got like spotches right there, but it's kind of like got black things right here somewhere, right in here. Where my hand at? There you go, like right there somewhere, like right here. See how it's like Got a little black spot there. So I painted with a brush. And some of the flick came up. The glitter came up a little bit. Yeah, I used to do everything.
That's cool, man. It's like you were just like experimenting, trying to see like to make things happen right there. Let's see. I was gonna mention something right here.
Okay.
So in this article, there's a section where it says Mr. M added that young modelers should keep their goals in sight and be patient. Remember, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Dang,
True, true.
that's pretty cool.
That's
Right
true.
there. Yeah, so this was article number 2. And then in this magazine over here, this is September, October of 1996, right here. Beautiful artwork right here. And in this one's talking about the SoCal Classic. It's giving the event coverage on this one
Mhm.
here. And then we have a couple of cars right here that you made. This was the 1959 Impala and the 55 Bel Air, and then that 39 right
Oh
here.
yes.
Yeah, last night I was going over a magazine, and
Uh,
I was doing, just kind of like a magazine preview, and in the magazine, they show the box art to this model kit, the 39, and
mhm,
I started talking about it, and I also have a 39 as well that I painted, but when I was in junior high, like back in like maybe like 95, 96, and I still have it to this day. And I brought it out just to show everybody. And there's a lot of parts I didn't paint like on the inside. I didn't primer it, I didn't clear coat it. It was just like rattle can on the body. But I do see how you went with the two colors there on the
mhm,
fenders and then on the body. I did something similar, but in reverse. I did like the black fenders,
uh-huh.
and then I did the body like a maroon kind of style. But I mean, this is way nicer. The cherry paint right here. I'm
You
gonna
know,
have to show you later.
yeah, back then I think that was my best paint job to date back in those days. So it's hard to paint a car black,
Yeah.
and for some reason that came out pretty good.
Nah, it looks clean. And then I like how you opened up the windows, like the panels, and you added
Mhm,
like the glass in there. The doors, opened up the doors. Man, that's so dope. Yeah, I just love looking at these magazines. It definitely takes me back, you know. It makes me wonder like, man, how was this done? And there's some of these cars that I've been lucky enough to see in person. There's some that I've seen in collections and just things or even at shows.
mhm.
Even speaking with Gary Seeds, he's already told us the story behind this car. This
Oh
is
yeah.
one of Gary Seeds' car, and then at some point, I guess it ended up somebody owned it, ended up on eBay, and then David Devaka ended up helping him get it back and
Mhm. Oh
everything.
yeah.
And very interesting story. But it's like it's back, but it's one of those iconic cars also. So a lot of these builds right here that you guys did are very, very iconic.
Yeah, them were the good days. Going to shows, see all the guys. Then of course Gary moved back. He moved back to East somewhere, Midwest, back in the fall. Shortly after that. So I haven't seen him in a long time, but I seen him on your podcast last week. I seen him when you was interviewing him. He's a cool guy, and of course, and like I said, I try to do my best in paint that I can. I'm not quite sure how to help you with that. That's Alexa talking.
Yeah,
I go,
yeah,
what's
that's
that?
all good.
uh, but yeah, I tried to do my best paint job as possible, try to get those Gary Seeds, Armando Flores, some of those other guys, good paint jobs. Even you, man, I was seeing you at the last show. You got some good paint jobs too in your cars.
No, thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, this is all just like a trial and error, and just trying to learn and execute. It's all inspirations from all the stuff that you guys did. And just being part of the community, and also just trying to on some cars that I'm starting to put more attention on some cars that I would be like, I don't know, maybe I should build this one that's not a common kit, that maybe, you don't really see this done to it. So let's bring something like this out. But nah, thank you, man. Thank you.
You're welcome. Much deserved, my users. 'Cause, I mean, the model car world, like I said, the video game kind of killed it a little bit, so it's kind of like
Hmm.
a slow comeback. But
Hmm.
more guys are building model cars. There's more shows coming back now, so
Yeah.
uh, I'm happy it's coming back. Because now people can build model cars and show they work, so people can see it. And thanks to Instagram,
Hmm.
YouTube, so people all over the world see people's work easier than before, than the
Yeah.
magazines.
Yeah, it's been a big evolution, everything from like going to the shows in person, hobby stores, the magazines, later to forums, and then just social media altogether. And I feel like right now it's going strong, there's a lot of new modelers that get into it and they can learn everything quick within months. And then within a year, they're just doing stuff. I've had some guests that I've interviewed, they were doing some really nice like I would say like high level stuff, and they would be like, "Oh, I've been doing it for a couple years now," and I'm like, "Wow, like I was not doing that
Yeah.
in a couple years," you
I
know?
mean, yeah. I mean, it's lots of stuff that I want to do. Like I said, airbrushing for one of them.
Hmm.
Uh, and I've been model since I was 14. Now I'm 65, so it's like what, like 40 some years almost. Like I wish I could have been. I should have airbrushing by now, but it's just
Hmm.
that thing. You gotta get that kick. You guys just gotta do it. Take a chance. So I'm gonna take my chance this summer.
Yeah, it's never too late,
Oh
it's
yeah.
always it's all about the timing, and I feel like you just you showed the airbrush, you acquired it, you have friends and all of us that are like rooting for you, so definitely take that plunge and just try it, no matter what happens, like you said, you got to look at the article back in the day where you said try again, so you gotta just keep doing it. But man, it's such a trip, like sometimes you hear people say like, "Oh, the hobby's dying," And did you hear that too, like back in the day when like how you mentioned about the video games coming in, where people kind of freaking out, or no?
Oh yeah. Because back then, you see it's like hardware stores everywhere. Then they start like dying down. The malls start coming out slower. But now they make a big comeback. Now they have the malls coming from Japan and stuff. Like Tamiya, uh, Hiroshima. I guess I'm saying it right. I know all those companies from the Japanese companies. They have the Euro import cars. I do a lot of those too. So I'm glad that they can make a comeback. And like I said, of course, now also because of 3D print, you almost get almost any kind of car you want. So
Yeah, I feel like that's helped a lot, evolve everything and motivate people, even bring out people that were building that stopped back into the fold.
mhm.
Um, it's just a trip, right? Plastic and then resin. Now it's like 3D print. It's just, and then scratch people that were scratch building too. So you
Oh
get
yeah,
to build, like you get to play around with a lot. You have a lot of options now.
yeah, yeah. That's like I said, some of my favorite cars was like the Lincolns, Continentals, and the four T-Birds. Like I got my first T-Bird from Iceman when he made the T-Bird for 3D print. I was, oh man, I gotta get one of those. A couple of the guys made some Lincolns and stuff. Um, uh, what's the dude's name over there? Yeah, sometimes get a mental block. It's happening to get old. So, but yeah. Um,
Yeah.
but anyway, uh, modeling now to me is doing great. I like it.
Hmm.
There's so
Yeah.
much aftermarket stuff you can use, like the
Hmm.
tires. Uh, you got those uh the kits, the lights, the thing for the bombs, the
Hmm.
coolers and stuff like that,
Yeah.
speakers, amplifiers. So yes, it's good. Pumps, everything's getting. is making a comeback, and
Yeah,
more
there's so
kids building
many
malls too.
so many accessories, right? That are just like
Oh yeah.
bringing more of that realism that you want to add to your build, more of just things that you couldn't get, or maybe you just had one set and you used them on a car, but now you can stock up and have a lot to be like, all right, these are going to be, I'm going to be adding these to all these builds now going
Oh
forward,
yeah.
you know. Real quick, Jarvis, let me give out some shout outs to some of
Okay.
the people that are here on the in the chat room real quick. Let's start from the top. So we got Armando Flores, Slowly Models, Lowrider Model Car Parts, builds by George Juarez, Model Car 1589, Scaled Innovations, Scale Model Cars. Let's see, Beautiful Blue Monster, Quantum Mesqua. We also have, let's see here, OmniWorks, Luis, Model Car 1589, Steven, uh, George Ramos, aka Vision 124, Alan Gonick. Hey, what's up, man? Dang, another another person responsible for the Lowrider Bicycle magazine right here. Photographs, text. Let's see. Also, John Cantaloupe, Rudy Munoz. What's up, Rudy? Hey, thank you guys for joining us. Man, this is great. Thank you guys
Yeah.
for being here. If you guys have any questions, let me know if you want me to ask Jarvis anything. Thank you, thank you guys for tuning in.
Hey,
Man,
thanks,
that's
guys. I hope I tell you how my life goes in building models.
yeah. I think this would be a good time. Can you show us some models like the cabinets and some of the cool stuff?
Oh, okay. I'll give you like a little tour.
Yeah, let's see a tour, an exclusive tour right now, guys. I'll let you take it away.
Okay, I will start from my okay, hold on. Okay, this is my office. No, growing up, I'm from the South, I used to collect tractors too, diecast tractors. I'm a country boy at heart. So, this is my mall cars. It's like two rows deep up there. Some of my parts, you know, uh, 3D prints, resins, wheels, more cars. It's my drawers and stuff in it. This is some of my project cars right here. This right here is one of my I'm doing for my real car I used to have before I sold it, my Honda Civics. And I got a friend that had T-Bird. I'm working on that for next year also. No, I do die cast, 118 scale die cast. I got a bunch of those. And this right here is all my magazines, my Lord for my uh that I look at to get ideas from. It's all magazines, all packed up. More projects up there. This is one of my showcases. It has about see 10, 20, 30, about 50 so 60 miles in that. More tractors. Some of my paint down here. On my can paint, more accessories, more models. Uh, that's my sign right there. For this sign from I think from one of the Mother Flores shows I went to. I had it made up. This is from that car. Uh, I played the guitar, also the bass guitar, the bass. This is my little stand. It has everything in it. My pens, my paints, and more stuff in it. More models down there. More supplies. I got models in here, but I'm not gonna show you because it's like a lot of clothes in there too. Also, mall cars in here, like 3D. I'm gonna take it to my main. It's a little dark over here. Hold on, give me a second. My main showcases with I think it's call them my better builds. Can you see the whole showcase?
Yeah, yeah, I could see it.
Okay.
That looks
Up top, this is my luxury class. This is my Lincolns and Cadillac shelf. And here's the gold one you talk about here, the gold Cadillac. You seen the gold Cadillac? So you seen.
yeah, that's the one right there.
And this is my import shelf. All imports. This is one we just did at the last show. Mother Flores had a bunch of guys build conveyors. And this is my some of my other shelves I have current models in it. And the 39 I did. Here's my mini truck class. Oh, mini trucks. And this is like my some of my old cars. What I do when I have a new cars, I build. Here's the 39 right here, and here's the 51. I'm sorry, 59. That was on the magazine cover. And see, I have like a little I kind of zoom in on this. I guess I can't. I have the little bike magazine plaque in the back of the back seat that I copied from the copy machine and made it smaller. So when I do models, what I do is I kind of like move them down to the bottom shelf and add a new one right here. Like the ones I just recently did was this Monte Carlo, and this is my these are my old builds right here. It's but in the back is but the 62s, the Bel Air ones before they made the kit because the kits, the regular kits I couldn't afford those. I got $100 back in those days. And some 3D print T-Birds I got from Iceman. And this is some more old builds, the 66, 59s, and more 62 Bel Airs that I use. This is a pumps from I guess from Pegasus. Back in those days, I bought those pumps and stuff. They had them in stores. And some more. It's my 57s, 60s, 67s shelf. There's another import shelf with the wagons, the Honda wagons. Right here's all Hondas, right? It's all Hondas. The wagons, the four-door Civic with the roof cut off, the Sierra X. This is my first CX I did. That was fake too. That was also hand painted, believe it or not. Down here is some old hits. My first bug I did back in the 80s. Still got that one. And this is I made for my wife a ship. When I took a break from the cars and went to a ship because we have our own travel business on the side. So I made her a ship. And here's the you talking about the here's the I had a thing made for the that magazine you showed, a plaque. And here's the one you show. I also had a plaque for that one made up. And then go back into my room now. I got started on my also a building in euros. When I had my Honda, it's my Honda I had my lowrider Honda I had back in the days. It came out in Lowrider magazine back in like 2001, and the Euro scene section. And I also was in a Japanese magazine for my Honda back in those days. But yeah, it's something I like to do. Uh, because I work a lot. I'm gonna retire here pretty soon from working in a few more months, and
Oh,
hopefully I can just
nice.
yeah, no, thank
Congratulations. It's coming up.
you. Oh yeah, I
Woo.
got 4 months and a half to go.
Uh-huh. Man, that's
I'll be
cool. You
yeah,
know,
senior.
real quick, I just realized that because I had muted myself and I was asking you a
Uh-huh.
question. In your case, you had a green mini truck with the camper like coming out. And now my question was, is that the replica mini truck to the movie Mi Vida Loca?
Oh, you know what? Uh, that was a Toyota. Uh, Not really, but then yes, it is
Mm-hmm.
because I seen it back in the movie, and plus I think uh somebody had one in real life. I can't remember who it was. A green mini truck with a mirror on the
Mm.
hood on the shell.
Yeah.
Uh, so sometimes I try to make a car more realistic, close as possible
Mm-hmm.
to a real car if I can. And just thanks to Instagram, some guy was making some like decal
Mm.
murals. So I
Yeah.
bought some of those from him a few years ago, maybe like 6, 7 years ago, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna try and put this on the shelf. So I did that,
Yeah.
and so yeah, I try to make it like I try to make my cars look more realistic as possible, like a
Mm-hmm.
real car.
No, yeah, it looks good, man. Yeah. So, man, now that you mentioned retirement, all right, 2 months and
No, 3 months. 3 months. No,
3 months, three
3 months and a
months.
half.
All right.
Okay. November
And
30th.
how are you feeling? Like, are you ready? I mean, I don't think you'll be scared because you have so much like projects and things now. You're gonna have the time for all this stuff. But how's that feeling now?
Oh,
Stepping into that stage.
I can't wait because I mean, look at I have a cool wife, man. She let me build malls and buy malls as many as I want. But come tell you, my daughter came home. My youngest daughter came home from college. She graduated from college a few years back. She came into the room. She said, "Tell me, are you ever gonna build all these malls?" I go like, "I'm gonna try." So actually, one day, maybe 2 years after that, I came into this room. I counted my models. And I said, "You know what? If I build one model a month, then back then it was 3 or 4 years ago, I'll be 88 years old, 88 to get them all done." But
Oh
since that
wow.
time, yeah, but since then, I probably added about 100 more models since then. So probably not.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a trip when you start thinking about it like that, that you're like, but you know what? I don't know. It's like back then, with my homie, we would go out and we would collect like action figures, right?
Mhm.
We would drive all over Southern California, down 101, 405, all these different areas, hitting up like the Target, toy stores, Frankensons, all these different Walmart, all these different places just to collect like certain action figures. We wanted to like get the whole collection or whatever, right? But
Mhm.
then at some point we would reach a point where we would get the whole set, and then it was like, okay, what do we do now? Do what do we else do we get into, whatever. So eventually we will start selling off this stuff at shows or trading with people and everything. And sometimes we talk about it because the companies kept producing more and more and more figures to the
Uh,
point where I was like, I don't think I could get them all. Like, I won't be able to afford them. It's too many. Or was this a waste of money? Or well, we start going down the rabbit hole in these conversations. But then at the end, it was more like, you know what? Maybe we won't collect, or maybe whatever we had, but I think what outweighs everything was the experience. And
mhm.
we were like, what do you mean the experience? Well, yeah, like we got to hang out, we have to bust all these missions, we had to go here, we had to go there, and we had good times. We would like get breakfast or eat dinner, like there was always
Oh yeah.
different things. And then we started meeting other people that were doing the same thing that we didn't know. And then we started connecting on social media, kind of similar to like model building. I mean, with the other one, it's more just figures. You're collecting stuff, but this is like different. With this, like I have a stash of stuff too that I go, man, I don't know if I'm ever gonna build anything or like all that stuff.
Mhm.
But I don't let it bum me out. I just go, you know what? At least I have the ones I could choose which ones I'll have fun
Yeah.
with, because later on, I know I'm gonna meet somebody in the future. I know I probably haven't met them yet or whoever it is, but I know I'm gonna meet someone in the future that's gonna want a kit that I have, and I'll be able to bless them with it or trade or whatever, because I have to like pay it forward, since I know I've been giving kits, I've been blessed with stuff too, and just to keep it like going, and
Oh yeah.
it's always nice to have the like to be surrounded by your stuff. I see like behind you have all the kits, behind you, and I bet when you're working
Oh.
on your bench or anything, you like look up or you turn around and you just kind of relax and you look at the boxes, and I'm sure a lot of that it keeps that motivation going.
Oh yeah. You know, like you mentioned Mondo Flores. Like years ago when I first met Mondo Flores was at like I said it was at a mall car show over there in Ontario. I'm pretty sure Ontario over there. It was like one of those shows over there because it was given by like Pegasus, kind of like Rick Hicks. I think his name Rick Hicks. Uh, that's how I met all those guys back then, and so I got to know Mondo Flores, and so him, David Ibaka, those guys came to my house because I had like a lot of models, and then and they bought Jervis, uh, Jeffries too also. Jeffrey came to my house too. That's probably like shoot, like 2006, something like that there. And so the guy who I seen, well, I had three guys here. So I got Amanda Flores, great model builder, excellent. David DeBarker, good friend, good model builder, also a lowrider, as I was too. And Jeffrey's the guy with the remote control cars from another other side of the world. You see on YouTube, and also he's at my house. So we all came good friends, even more. So and Mondo said, "Hey man, you have like a lot of Cadillacs, you know." And back then I had like a lot of Cadillacs. So, hey man, what you want to sell one of those? So I'm pretty sure I gave it to him. I can't remember. It's been so long ago. I have a bunch of cars then, and sometimes me and David we trade or we give stuff to each other. Hey man, I got some wheels. You want some wheels? And we just trade back and forth. So that's how you get good friends. Because you want something I got, you might have something that you got something that I want. So we just trade. Like he made his tires. He has his own spoke tires and his own tires and stuff. And I had a bunch of his tires that I had bought from him. That's also, and some guy made a comment. I can't remember who it was. Uh, and he goes, "Dang man, how many tires you got from Amanda Flores?" He's like, "You get bought all his tires he had." But no, back then his tires were small and more to lowrider tires. And then, like I said, came out with Jeffries and lowrider Mark Gavin came out with his tires. And so it's just one of those things that you want to help people out, and they help you out in return.
Yeah, I was gonna show you. I have a like so. Oh, here we go. Some of the tires that you were just mentioning, the ones Armando did.
From the Flores.
Yeah, let me bust them out of the bag here, and I'll get them close to the camera.
Is that his old ones?
Yeah, yeah. These are the he had put these on one of my builds,
Uh-huh.
and
Oh
here you
yeah.
go. Here you go. Look at the tire right here. I don't know if it's like focusing on there. If
Oh yeah,
not,
sure.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
show this later in a video because I do want to give this like a spotlight focus on a YouTube video later in the future to talk about some of these tires. I want to get some more info though, like history regarding these, because yeah, you're bringing up a good point right there. Like at the time, because I remember seeing in some of the magazines when they would show like a car doing 3D motion or something, you could see it looked like just an O-ring on like the
Mm.
lip of the tire. It wasn't on the full tire. Was that
Oh
just
yeah.
like the only kind of option to get like a small little tire onto the rim?
Oh yeah. I mean, I did a few cars like that. Use the over rings and washers to make them give them that 520 look. The 520 look back in the low ride tire, the 13s, uh, or the 14s. Put on your preference, but just give them that small, then a big old thick tire. So and uh, I don't want to comment too much on Mondo's tires because I'm pretty sure you're going to do a thing with him. So he could probably tell you all the details. I know some of
Nah,
his
I mean,
details.
hey, it's all good. You could
Yeah.
whatever
Well,
knowledge you get.
his tire was handmade by him, machine. So his was unique. So
Dang.
then, back in those days,
Hmm.
you couldn't find those anywhere. Then, like I said, they came out with Pegasus tires. They had a nice tire, but they was a little bigger. But they at the time that's what people buy because it's Pegasus. And they came out with their tires, and then they came out with Jeffries tires. And then I got a few sets from my good friend Gavin. He can vouch for this. I've been collecting tires, from him. I'm gonna show you a little bit. When I see him, I order. I get orders, and when he come to the shows, the last shows, I just buy his stuff up. I say, hey man, what you got for sale? So every time I get like a little chump change, uh, talk to the wife, hey, I'm buying some tires from the guy from Japan. That's cool. She's like, yeah, buy what you want. So, I come back home with 6 sets of tires. She said, well, how many tires you buy? I said, well, it's like about what I want. So, but anyway, so I got all those tires right here from him. Just same for future bills. That's one case. And I got some more over here. It's all low rider Mark Hudson. I got some tires over here from him. So I got gonna buy some more too before I retire. So I have plenty stash, so I won't try to run out. So I'm just, I'm that kind of guy. I mean, I buy them so I have them when I need them. 'Cause, sometimes you want to do a build or a car. Oh man, I have no tires. You got to find the tires, but now I got plenty of tires. Now I got to decide which one I want to use on there.
Man, right on. Dang, I see that Modelo right there. Cheers.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Cheers, cheers, everybody. I had it for a long time. It's probably hot now.
Nice.
I'm not a big, I'm not a big drinker. I
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
have a beer maybe once a month, if that.
yeah. You know, right now that we're plugging in, we're showing some love to Lowrider Model Car Parts. Check out his website. You shared with me. I just love the organization. How you have everything. This is my little stash. I have it in this little box
Oh
right
yeah,
here.
okay.
I got even some of his fuzzy fur right here.
Oh yeah,
And then I got the what is it? The chain steering wheel right here. And then I also
yeah. I
have
miss
the other
those.
ones that he did with like Cruise Well as well.
Oh yeah,
Man, yeah, man, you can't go wrong with the wheels, man. They're just so dope, so dope. Can't
and
wait to use them in future projects.
it's so realistic.
Yeah, and also, you mentioned Jeffries, earlier. He came down, he hung out with you like back then, and I keep telling my friends and everybody, man, if it wasn't for him, this whole Red Cat thing with the Loiters, it wouldn't have been happening right now.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like he's like the godfather of that. And I think a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people they see an RC Red Cat 64 or any year and they buy it, cool, and they're just having fun. But for those that are a little bit more um the historical, go a little nerdy, go a little bit more beyond wanting to know, like, man, how was this put together, like, how did this come to life, you know um there's a lot of credit that needs to be due with him,
oh yeah,
and it's such a trip because he also does model cars as well. But that right there, you could find some very old videos of him busting out with some early on prototypes and things with the RC stuff. Man, I gotta bring him back on in the future to the
oh yeah.
podcast.
He's a good guy, man. I think first time I knew about him was my friend David DeBaca. And I guess Amanda Flores had told David DeBaca about this guy in the Netherlands had this RC car. So David DeBaca showed me. Check this guy's car out. It's like a remote control car, but it's a model. So we shipping it out, and so it was a yellow. I think it was a yellow 63, I think, or 64, something like that. It was like a little kid, had lights and everything. It turns, it goes back and forth, it hops, all kinds of stuff. So uh, as time goes on, some person like I say you see on YouTube or whatever, oh, that guy's pretty bad. All of a sudden, years later, he's your friend. So it's cool. I mean, it's cool to be, I don't know, to be nice to everybody, or well, that's my goal. I mean, it's a lot of guys I have on Instagram. I don't know who they are, but when I see them and they say, "Oh, hey, what's going on, Jarvis?" I'm going like, who are you? Because I'm a kind of person. I sometimes I can't put the cars with the names, or I forget the names. I remember the car. I go, oh, what's your name? What's his name? Oh man, take out a mental block. But the guy from New Jersey, he came down for the last show.
Oh, George, Vision
Yeah, George.
124.
Yeah, George. There you go. Sorry, George. I'm a little slow here sometimes. But yeah, I remember him. I go, oh, it's you. And the guy from Hawaii with the bugs. I met him. All these guys we are Instagram influencers by meeting but through model cars. That's something that we enjoy, which is the hobby that we like to do and show off our work, even though we don't, other side of the world. You know what I mean? We're not like in our backyard. It's cross country, and there's a chance you might see them, you might never see them. So to see some guys at the last show for the first time. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, like through all the years, that you've been in the scale model community and industry, it's like I'm sure you've seen a lot of modelers come and go, right? Like
Oh
they
yeah.
you see them a lot, and then you never see them anymore.
Well, no, thanks to Instagram, a lot of guys I know are still around. Like now, once upon a time, I was in this small car club called Chosen Few. There was a guy named Eddie, uh, and Sergio Hernandez. Right, that's the ones back in those days, and uh, I'm not, another guy who back in those days I had some influence from was uh David Anthony Garcia. I first met him at Pegasus and Whittier, but not for models. I went there for a RC car for a Honda body for my real car I had. And they told me I went to Pegasus hobby store in Montclair and told me to go over there to see a guy named David. And so I went over there and met him. And no, he was cool. We were talking about kind of stuff. He got some stuff over there. Matter of fact, he had a car over there, Las Vegas car. I think he had it there. It was there. I said, oh, that's pretty bad. So I got to know him pretty good as time went on. Then shortly after that, I met him on the floors, and another guy who was pretty big back in those days, who was a good friend, was Bear Garcia. He had the mini truck with the bed and stuff. Uh, I met him, and me and him, became pretty good friends back in those days. And we went to Elite Body Shop, the Diablos, those guys. And I met those guys back in the days too, also the lowriders and stuff. And uh, so back to my Honda, my real car. I know I fixed it up. I wanted to represent what was in my. I'm going off miles here, but my Honda was part of my model car things too. So I had a real car that had a model car that I want to make it to a real car. So did not have both things here. And I had a couple guys help me out, like that was Tom from Cruising Connection. Uh, and that was I got my friend named Mark. He was in another man truck club, helped me out. Uh, these guys was there for me when I needed help. They had the ideas and had the knowledge to help me do stuff that I didn't have the knowledge for on a real car. And so I can take that knowledge that they showed me and put it on a model car. Like one thing I haven't done yet is put murals in the wheel well. I got to do that one of these days on a model car. So that'll be my hunting right here one of these days. I'm working on. But yeah, I
Nice.
think those guys. Uh, for the guys that I know back in those days would give me ideas. Uh, the hydraulic guys, Big Kids, Eddie, San Diego, SNA Hydraulics. I learned from the real guys who make real cars that I can put into my mall cars.
Yeah, right now you brought up David Anthony Garcia, and then we were just talking about Jeffries. So I don't know if I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this on maybe in the past in a podcast episode, but there was Jeffries had showed me a video, right? And this
Mhm,
is like a video that he documented many years ago. This probably was like the first time he ever came to the US,
mhm.
right? So Jerry's comes to the US. It's in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know what kind of camera he had, but he brought a little camcorder with him. And he managed to document his trip out here. And he showed me like the full video, unedited, just raw footage. And it's him, uh, you know, they're on their way to Pegasus, him and his friends. And in the video, I got to see David Anthony Garcia, like just as a kid, like young, working in the store, right?
Yeah.
And it was a trip because we hear these stories or we read about them and stuff, but to actually see it in video, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait, damn, that's dope. That's him. So Jerry's is there. He's talking to him. He's recording him, and then he brings out that Las Vegas car, and he puts it
Mhm.
on a turntable for him, and he's showing it to him. He also had that other that truck that looked close to like that. I think it's Punch 84. truck.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It had a different name. He named it something else, but so it was all during that time, and just seeing that was like really dope. I couldn't believe it. And then there's a part where he just kind of walks around the store, um, and he's just recording. It was almost like he was vlogging, like back in the day, just
Mhm.
documenting, right? And he's recording the the aisles, and then also some of the like the shelves, like the glass cases that
Mhm.
have the whatever they were selling at the time. So it's a really like a nice time capsule that takes you back. And I remember telling him like, dude, like put that out, like you got to put that footage out, or what are you gonna do with it? We got like I was like pushing for him, and he did, you know, bless me with some of that footage, but I never put it out. I didn't show it to anybody. I just kind of held on to it because I was just
Mhm.
like, he recorded this. This is all his stuff, and I'm still waiting. I'm gonna have to ask him like, what are you gonna do with that footage? Because I think it'd be awesome if everybody got to see that and go back in time to
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah. Cool to see see all of us. Well, I'm not sure if I'm in those videos, but as I said, certain mall car shows to see all of us at a young age when we was younger. You know, because I think my first mall car show was probably back in like the early '90s. So it had to be after '93, after I got my Honda. So I'm pretty sure it was back in those days.
Yeah,
And I'm not sure how I started.
and
I think I started in San Diego. Sorry.
yeah, I was gonna ask you regarding Bear Garcia. So I don't know. I mean, you have to remember that he did that. It was a VHS tape
Mhm.
that I think it was Redline that made that video with him. Do you remember when that video came out, or like did you know Bear
You know,
already when that dropped?
uh, you know, I don't know how I met Bear, but I know I seen him because he had I think it was that Chevy truck that snap kit. He had a bed that moved. I think I met him at a mall car show, and we became friends. And but I don't remember seeing the tape.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to send you the link because Gary Seeds managed to get me a copy of the video, not on VHS tape, but like on like a DVD-R,
Uh,
and we were able to like transfer it and digitize it pretty much. So it's on the YouTube channel for those that have
okay.
not seen it. But I'll send it to you so you can check it out. But it's pretty much just Bear Garcia like doing an instructional video in there. It's a trip, like seeing that. And then the one thing that I was talking to Gary about in the last week's episode was regarding like Big Hit Enterprises. Did you shop at Big Hit Enterprises like back then?
Oh, of course, man. I tell you, I used to look at every kind of mall car magazine. If there was a hobby store that I can drive to, I mean drive to, that I can drive to, I would drive there. So first time I drove to Big Kids Enterprise, I think it used to be over there in what's that place called? Uh, over San Pedro area, kind of like toward that way. I used to drive there, and he had a little small shop. But back then he was, I think again Gary said he was selling toys and stuff like that also. But he had some mall cars, and he had it's a uh Cadillac big body back then resin kit. So I seen that. I said, hey man, I want that. So I went back there, went home, drove back home, back to San Diego. And the following weekend, I got my money together, went back up there and bought one. And I had it for the longest time. I think I painted it last year for the first time. So I had it for like years and years and years. I finally painted it.
Damn, you finally, Raj. I'm looking through the magazine right now as you're telling me. I want to show everybody the ad on there because here it is. Found it. So this is one of the ads that was run on the Lowrider Bicycle magazine right here.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Yeah, that one right there. So in the ad, um, you know, when you read through this, there is a section here where it says for a catalog of current prices, send $1 money order and self-addressed stamped envelope.
Mm.
Um, that catalog. Did you ever get your hands on that catalog?
Honestly, no, I didn't get the catalog because reason why, because I should go there all the time.
Yeah, yeah. You're like, what's the point?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
should get my main truck, my car, whatever back then. I just drive up there, drive those 2 hours
Mhm.
just to go there. I was probably at Pegasus almost every weekend.
Dang. Yeah. That
Right.
right
I
on.
go I go to Pegasus or I go to his shop early, then drive
Hmm.
back to Pegasus and come on home. Like
Yeah.
I do that round
Yeah. Do
trip
like a
or
round. Yeah. Yeah. Hitting
yeah.
them all up. Yeah.
But
Cause
yeah,
in here.
I was a I guess you could call me a mall car junkie.
Hmm.
I said if I see a mall car store anywhere, I go to it.
Oh, that's
So
awesome. Yeah, it's interesting. All the different things that were being sold, like yeah, like chrome and gold plated parts, model hydro accessories. It says here the leader in model hydraulics, the famous Power 130 Hydro Kit includes all the basic supplies, pre-cut and drilled T slider kit. Dang, it's
something I never did. I
mm,
never got into the hydraulic actions action scenes
mm-hmm,
because that's one of the things I thought I couldn't do. So I want to mess with it. I didn't want to
yeah,
take its time. But people ask me all the time, do any of your cars go up and do they hop in? That's nah, I don't know how to do that. But I wish I had to learn how to do that.
uh-huh,
But I never did.
yeah, yeah. There's as a kid, that was always an interest too, wanting to learn how to do the hydros. But
Yeah.
I never learned as a kid. There was a guy in class that I met who he would he had like a hydro system that he was telling me about, but I didn't really understand like what he was talking about. And then he told me one day, hey, if you want, bring a model kit, bring it to me, and I'll put it together for you. And I just can't remember if he charged me or what happened, like the transaction, But I did bring him a model kit, and like maybe like the following week or so, he brought it back to me. He gives it to me, and it's like the body, right? He sets it down, and it had four clear hoses like coming out of the back, and
Uh,
on each end he had these round little like pumps like to squeeze,
uh,
like there's just
oh,
basically air in there. So I'm like what? So then he's just like squeezing it, like what do you want, side to side or front and back or all four, like kind of to lock up, right?
uh,
But it looked very kind of like toyish. But then
uh,
I was like man, how'd you do that or what? So then he flips it upside down, and it just like you could see all the hoses and the wheels and everything. But I mean, it was just a ton of glue that was all
uh,
over the thing. It looked crazy, but at the time, I mean, I was like in junior high, and I thought, oh, that's cool. I have a little hopper. That's like the closest thing to a hopper. And then later, he started to tell me like, oh no, man, like if you wanted to go with like battery powered, I know how to do those too, or whatever. But it didn't really get that far, with it.
uh,
Um, but man, I always tried, but it wasn't until later, I'd say probably like 2015, 16, where I wanted to start to get into like doing more uh, into hydros. Watch, let me bring out a model. I'll show you one right here. I have it right here. I was showing this to my friend the other day. One day I'm gonna show this on video, but this is a 64 that I had built. Let me see if I could change the light
oh
real quick.
yeah. Oh,
And then
it's a hydraulic one.
yeah,
Oh
in the
yeah, I see
back
the wires.
you can see the wires right there, and then this was the battery I was using
Oh,
for it.
okay.
This is just to lift the back,
But you
and then
tap it.
yeah, yeah, like I'll hit it, and then side to side, um, and then I had another like so there's two servos to lift the back, but then there's a little motor that tugging the string to make it hop once it's like the rear is locked up, but it was I don't know. Like through Facebook, I joined the group and everybody was doing that. This is like the closest thing I ever got to like a hopper. But the front of the like the A arms kept breaking because I wasn't using strong glue. I was
Mm.
just I forgot what kind of glue I was using and it wasn't really doing the job. But I want to revisit this model. I want to like get it up and going again. The rear does lift though. That definitely uh does go, but it's always been a kind of a mystery for me.
Mm.
But man, if I could figure it out, I'll be very very satisfied. You know?
Only hobby I had in my lifetime was a model car was the kind you buy, Lindbergh, the Lindbergh hoppers. You know, remember those that had the Cadillacs and had the SN truck with the bed goes up and down.
Yeah. Then they did
Yeah,
that Joker. It was like a
yeah,
63.
Joker.
Yup.
Yeah, I had one of those. I think I had all those kits, but
Mhm.
I wound up using just the bodies, mainly the
Yeah.
Cadillacs.
Oh man. Yeah. To me, the that I did get that Joker one, the 63. And I think when I bought that kit, that was probably like the closest I ever got to like owning like a 63 model at the time.
Yeah.
But then it had that engine in the front with the pipes. It was
Oh
like
yeah.
very very toyish. But I didn't have the skills to like take it apart and like remove the engine to fill in the hood and try to repaint it. I didn't know how to do any of that at that time when I picked up that. To me, it was just like to play around with.
Oh yeah. Well, for me, any kit that had lowrider on it, lowrider,
Hmm.
I would buy it because it's gonna have the
Yeah.
word lowrider on it. And until then, finally, when I got married, before I got married, I moved out of my house I was living in, and so now I have a bunch of empty boxes. Says like the lowrider because when you build malls and when you really into something, you save the old boxes. Even though the boxes are empty, you have the model, you build a model, but you save the box because it's like part of history, kind of like I would say. It's like nostalgic. Like the 57 uh 57 Leroy kit, this pink one from I can't remember who it was, Revell or something back in the old days, back in the 80s and stuff. I had that pink box too. And that one had I even had the Lindbergh Cadillac box, the little small Cadillac, 79 Cadillac. They had the Lindbergh box. I had that, it was all raggedy, but I still had it. So finally, I got rid of those boxes. I just, what, I don't want all these boxes just sitting here. So I try to. I said anybody want them on Instagram, on that, but nobody wanted them, so I just throw them in the trash can.
Dang.
It was different. I
Hmm.
had to go to the kids, but then I had like 20 boxes of stuff like lowriders on it. Like, what am I do with these boxes? But if I had more room, I probably would have kept them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hate when that happens when you're like, man, I need room, but then you end up like tossing stuff, and then later you're like, man, I should have never thrown that away.
Yeah, like we was talking before we came on the live show. I
Hmm.
was telling you how I have a bunch of donor kits.
Hmm.
Like you mentioned, you use like the 62 Bel Air kit, the blue
Oh
one.
man. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I bought like about 10 of those kits just for the frame.
Wow.
And they, because well, then they had the 62 with the high suspension,
Hmm.
made like for the race cars. You have to buy those where I can use the suspensions to make my car lift it all the way around. I would have to do I would do my own back. I would drill like a little drill and drill the holes in the shocks and put like a little rod there to make it look like it's a cylinder.
Hmm.
So, but I think it's for dealing 59. I can't remember offhand. It's so long. But yeah, I was trying to make my car look more realistic as possible.
Yeah, so that frame, it's like very like universal. The one from the 62 that you could use on various model kits.
Mhm. But if it
Oh,
didn't, I would trim it down to make it fit.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
trim out the
nice.
size a little bit and just make it
Yeah,
fit, or kind of make it shorter, make it longer, put like a little piece in between sometimes. I
yeah.
try to get creative
That's
sometimes.
cool. Another question I have for you. And I should probably start asking this one to everybody that I get on that's married. So before you got married, um, how like did your wife know what she was getting into when she knew like, hey, like this is my thing, this is my model thing? Or was she like,
Uh,
wait, like what's all this?
well, I think I told her, but not no. Back then, I had a real car too, so she knew I was in the lowriders. But I used to go to low. I should show. I should try to show every car, every lowrider show I can go to. That's local. It's in Southern California. So she knew I had a car, but but I was getting older, so it was a Honda Civic. So and uh, actually, before we started dating, I had I had a mini truck. I mean, I had another mini truck. Just required a mini truck. I was gonna fix up. I was gonna go back in time, and then one of my friend Eddie from Big Kids, he had a hey, I got see you want a Lincoln? Say I got. Then I had a baby Lincoln, a black baby Lincoln, and then I had my Honda. So at one time I had three cars. So I wound up selling the Lincoln, getting rid of the main truck, kept the Honda, and then wound up selling it finally. And now I think my next car will be probably a Bug, a Volkswagen. So hopefully, my aunt has one. So I said, hey, why don't you sell me your car? And she said, no, I'm gonna fix it up. So I see her a year later. I said, your car's still sitting there. Why don't you just sell it to me? So I'm gonna wait for her to sell it to me. So when I retire, that could be my project to have a Bug, fix it up.
Yeah, that sounds like that would be definitely a fun project right there. I hope she
Yeah,
hooks you up. Maybe that'll be the gift when you
yeah, I
retire.
know.
Let her know.
I'm
Let her
gonna say,
know. Be like, hey, guess what? I just retired, and then she's gonna
yeah,
be like, here's the keys. Take it.
well, I'm trying to put it in mind. So when I talk to her every once in a while, I say, hey, when you got rid of that Bug yet? You said, I'm gonna fix it up. So okay, I'm still waiting. You won't sell it to me. I'm waiting. They said, well, you can have it. I'm waiting for that day to come along.
Yeah.
So,
Be like, look, I'll take the Bug, but don't worry, I'll make you a replica, and you could at least have it on your shelf or something
it's an
throughout the
old one too.
house.
It's an old one.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
nice.
I think it's like a 60 something.
Uh huh. Oh
So
dude.
I'm waiting, man. I'm praying one day I should say I can have this. But no, she has grandkids. She has kids. So, but
Yeah.
I don't think they want it. No, well, I want it.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah, I take it. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to claim it already. Man, that's a trip. 3 more months. So 2025, the retirement. It's
Yeah,
gonna,
November the 30th. Yeah,
man.
I'm going part of my retirement. I'll be gone vacation. I'm going to my wife. She loves to travel a lot. So
Hmm.
like I said earlier, we have our own shower business on the side. So
Nice.
since I married her, I've been to almost every country almost. So
Oh, that's
so
cool.
so this year will be our seventh. This year in November will be our 7th year anniversary,
Hmm.
and it will be our seventh continent. Also, we hit all the continents.
That's awesome. And I gotta ask, traveling the world, do you also hit up the hobby stores? Do you have time
Hey,
to yourself to do that?
oh yeah. Uh, well, sometimes I take it with me. Hey, let's go to the hobby store here. She's fine. She's cool with it. She's a great wife, man. She gives me my space to build my car because she knows that that's my thing. So she's okay with it.
That's
So it's
awesome,
cool.
man. Yeah,
So
thank you.
sometimes and
Thank you for that.
she has kids before me, of course, and for Father's Day they know what I like, so I get a Hobby Lobby card.
Oh, that's so
So
cool,
I go to
man.
Hobby
That's
Lobby,
awesome. Yeah,
get
yeah, they
myself.
got you.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like one I did a mall. She helped me on a couple times. She did a little work on it. It's just a little bit like the ship I showed you. That was her ship that I made for her. So she did a little work on that for me, helped me out. But she's more than travel than I am. But since I met her, I've been traveling a lot, so I like it too.
No,
So
yeah,
if you
that's
haven't,
awesome.
yeah, if people are you guys who's listening out there? If you haven't traveled, travel, go on a cruise. I mean, I would before I met her, I would never get on a ship. I would never go, you know, leave the country, but mainly get on a ship. But since then, I went on my first cruise. It's a piece of cake.
Yeah, it's
So
definitely an eye opener once you start,
yeah,
going to
it's kind
another
of relaxing.
area, start seeing other things,
Yeah.
tasting different foods, all everything, you're like, man, what the heck? And just kind
Well,
of resetting, kind of taking a break from the routine, and then you get back on to what you do, and it's like a different perspective. But it's also like it's exciting when you do come across like a hobby store,
oh yeah.
or just something, and you're like, oh, what? And you might not be able to buy nothing huge like a big kit, but you might be able to bring some small little things, that you could bring along.
Yeah,
to add to the bill.
which is one place, one country, and sometimes you go on these ports. So I always looking. I get my phone because I have T-Mobile. I Google hobby shop close to me. So I find a hobby shop and I go there. And sometimes they're small, and I go to see the malls they have. I was okay. I have it already. I have it already. Like a lot of mall shops that I've been to, they carry mostly like armor stuff, like planes and military stuff. I'm not really into that. I know a lot of people are, but I have a few planes, and but I'm mostly into cars and mostly into lowrider stuff. So, but actually I'm going to Japan next year. So
Damn,
we're
what?
going to see, we're going to. Hey Gavin, how you doing, man? I'm gonna come visit you.
Hey, you
I'm
guys need to
going on a
link
cruise.
up.
Yeah, I'm
Dang.
going on a cruise. So I told him already I'm coming over there, and he's gonna take me to one of the great hobby shops over there, hobby shop. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna save the money up.
yeah, you're gonna find hobby stuff everywhere. Like sometimes I'll go on YouTube and I'll look up, videos for like hobby shops or just anything in general, hobby related. And there's some people that are documenting and they're showing like you could go to like any like a convenience store or like a gas station and they have a little scale modeling section, you
Oh,
know?
really?
Yeah. And I'm like, dang, like this stuff's like everywhere. It's like people are I imagine people getting off work and they're just like, all right, I gotta bring milk home or this. Oh, you know what? I need glue. And they grab all that stuff. Like it's like everywhere. It's a trip.
Well, if God permits, I'm going over there next year and see my money up,
Hmm.
and we're gonna hook up with Gavin, if he's available.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, hey man, you gonna take me to this hobby shop? I'm gonna carry me a empty suitcase and just
Hmm.
put stuff in it and bring back with me on the ship, or actually on a
Yeah.
plane, rather.
No, yeah,
So,
yeah. Oh
so
man. I want to go over there so bad. Like so
yeah,
bad.
yeah, I've
Yeah,
been wanting
I'm
to go for
due.
years.
It's been a long time. The time that I went was 2017, 2018. Around that time. With Armando. Jarvis was out there. He linked up with us out there too. Even Juan Chevy
Oh,
Man,
wow.
Juan Amesco was out there too. And it was just a totally like a fun experience, being out there, seeing like the hobby stores, a lot of the stuff firsthand there, and the same thing, just buying stuff up, filling up the little basket, going back the next day, and just trying to just fit everything in, the suitcase and being like, and the luggage, like, man, I want to bring all this stuff home, you
Oh
know.
yeah, that's the plan. I'm gonna see my money up.
Mhm.
I'm gonna retire. Like I said, I'm gonna retire, but I'm gonna work part time, hopefully at Costco, like 20 hours a week, so I can stay active. Stay mobile, a little bit. But my main focus is gonna be building my mall cars and traveling. But right now I'm looking forward to Japan because like I said, that's where I always wanted to go. Because over there they have all the Japanese kits. Hiroshima, Fujimi. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but anyway, all those companies over there, all those Japanese companies, they have good detailed models and stuff. And I'm gonna fill the basket up. That's the plan.
Nah, yeah, you got it, man. So like, one thing I was gonna ask you is, you have a lot of experience. You've been in the game for so many years. Right now, at this point, what do you think is missing? What do you think we need that will enhance or just push the hobby to the next level, like a product or just something that, we already talked like how Gavin is holding it down right now, helping everybody out with the wheels. And I know Armando has mentioned like a company that does chroming. And you know what do you think is needed right now that could come to the fold that can help it, just take it to that next level?
Well, no, of course we have 3D prints also, so basically you can get almost any kind of car you want. Uh, man, I can't. It's hard to say. Because everything that like I said, be more over it. Said like I said, the only thing is the prices can go down a little bit, make it more affordable for people. I mean, Gavin's stuff is great. His prices are good because his stuff is like on the point. It's just rims and tires. they look more like realistic as much as I mean, I ever seen. So I love his stuff. That's why I got so much of it. And Jeffries was the same way. When Jeffrey came out with his stuff, it was the same way. But Jeffrey moved up to RC cars, which is, of course, is more fitable because there's more money. Because it's well, a lot of people like those two also. So I think Jeffries is doing the RC stuff, and Gavin is doing like the model car stuff. So they hit uh both hobbies at one time. So you got a choice. You want to build a model car, you see Gavin. You want to build an RC car, you see Jeffries. So they got everything pretty much hooked up. I just for me, I think just start releasing. So for a model car company to make models, start for me, I would say to put something different out instead of like using the same old kit, but a different kind of thing. Because sometimes they use the same kit, bring it back out, bring out something that people want. Like for instance, bring out the 71 Caprice convertibles. I haven't seen that since 70 back in the 70s. It hadn't been out in a long time. Or even the 72. Everything is a 3D print, but not the people who make 3D prints out of business, but I think, bring us some old stuff that people really want to see, or bring us some new stuff. Like, they bring us some new cars that people make that like also. Like a little more variety.
Yeah, no, man, that's dope. You're making me think right now a lot about that. You're right regarding them, like the kits, right?
Hmm.
Like the same ones keep coming out,
It
right?
has a
Like
more.
repopping the same ones. Cheers, and it's being able to come out with something different. Older kits that probably haven't seen the light in so long that are now considered vintage kits. Bring some of those back, but also bring out like some new stuff just to
Yeah, you
switch
said
it
that.
up. I always think about even when it comes down to like water slide decals. A lot of the times
Oh.
you're limited on what you can get, what's available, what companies mass produce, but that's kind of it. And it would be, I know there's a lot of custom like people that do Hot Wheels, right?
Mhm.
A lot of these guys, there's always like a few that print them on their own, and they're phenomenal. They're pre-cut and everything, and they just do a great job. But it's more for themselves, for their custom cars. They're not thinking about mass producing or anything. But if if there was a way to find out, or if somebody was able to just figure out a way to be printing even water slide decals, if you're going to do a replica or a particular build, that you want to add all those details to it, that's going to be custom tailored to your car, being like maybe a one-off sheet or whatever, instead of having to be like, oh, well, we have to print 1,000 or whatever, of something that maybe someone might not have interest to because it's just like a one tailored kind of thing. Man, it'd be interesting even to have something like that on there. I've seen like some of the material, like the pages you could buy and be like, oh, hook this up to your computer and you could print it, but sometimes it doesn't look the same as to buying a pre-cut, something
Oh
that's
yeah,
professionally
I,
done.
I have that stuff too. I bought that a long time ago. Hoping to make some decals to like my Honda. I can put on the Honda kit, but
Mhm.
you need a computer. You gotta do all this. You gotta do all that, and sometimes it doesn't even work. You
Yeah.
know, you gotta this kind of computer. 'Cause I Google it on YouTube because now thank God for YouTube. You have any kind of answer you want. There's guys on there show you also to show you how to do stuff, how to make hinges. Because I mean, back in the days when was going to the contests, I used to make hinges. But then for a while, I stopped making hinges. I just paint my mom cars because I stopped going to shows. And then I go, man, how did how did I make the hinge? How did I do that? So I had to go back to the YouTube, thank God for YouTube, and find out how to make those hinges again. It's now it's like before I was making like real good. Now I can't. It's not just all. It's either off a little bit. I got to bend this here, or I got to start over again. So, but yeah, I'm trying to get back into making my doors open and hinges for the trunk and that kind of stuff again. It looks like I'm retiring here in a few months. So I need to have more time to rebuild my malls. So, but yeah, I think if it's they can get more, like you said, decals, that'd be great. Uh, More murals you can use on your car. On your, I know they're out there, but sometimes you can't find the person that actually do it that does them. And then there's some that you might not like. You know, so some person might make like one style, but you just want a nice one that's plain, not you know certain kind of style. You want something different. So, but yeah, if I know how to do it,
Yeah.
I'll do it myself.
No, yeah. Sometimes, I mean, I wish some of the companies would hear us out. Like when you wanna, like, imagine if like Revell was like, all right, we're gonna come out with the 64 Impala, but we're gonna do things different this time. We're actually going to California, or and we're gonna sit down and have a meeting with the top level, lowrider model car artists, and we want to get input as to like what is it that they want, what is it that they've always wanted all these years, a model kit out of the box, and it could be like something specific where maybe it could be pointed out like, you know what, like the roof, this roof is probably too high, it needs to be a little bit lower, or even the suspension, all these little specifications, so this way anybody who buys that 64 and wants to do a lowrider is off with a good start, not having to really do too much manipulation to the body, like having to chop this or chop that. It's more about getting all the accessories, putting it together, and then later that is gonna kind of open up the door now to other things, to be like, you know what, now, like, this is satisfying the stock build, but now I want to open up the doors. I want to do this. I want to do that. More detailing, instead of like building the model and then being like, oh man, I should have gone back. I like this looks off a scale, or this and that, or why is it that this one says it's the lowrider edition, but it's really not the lowrider edition. It's so high. It's not even
Right.
low. Um, these decals or even these rims, like they're off scale, or they're too small, like to kind of tailor it to like really like what you guys would really want, you know?
Right. Right. Not to knock any company down. So if you're listening, you work for these companies. I'm not knocking any AMT or Ravel. I'm not knocking any company down because I mean I don't care who it is. For a car that somebody makes, I mean if I like it, I buy it. But say for instance, for the longest time, you buy an AMT 64. This is a straight chassis. No, it had the little pinholes there. You stick it, your little rod through whatever. You want it lower, you got to make a little cut in it, make it lower. But thank goodness for Revell, they came out in years, later on years, have a separate suspension, a separate frame on their kits. So you can lower if you want to. But like I said, you can do a little more work. You can open the trunk with the trunk hinges, but open the doors too, like you said, because back in the days, they had the 57 Chevrolet. I'm not sure what company it was back in those days. The lowrider kit. It was a black one and the pink one. And they had open doors with hinges. They had open hood with a hinge, and open trunk with a hinge. I mean, do that again. Make some kits like that. I mean, you have the technology nowadays to make it more realistic than back then. Because I know back then they had those big old like spacers that put the little thing and to open the doors up. But it worked. I mean, I had a few of those kits. I liked them back in those days, but that's like in the early '80s. But anyway, yeah, this is probably getting like a little more realistic, like you said, on some cars.
Yeah, man. Or maybe I'm just asking too much, but yeah,
You
it would be
know,
awesome.
no, no, you're not, because I confess that this year, later on this year, I'm not sure when it's coming out. Uh, uh, round two, models from round two, they're coming out with the 60 Nomad.
Mm.
So I was born in 1960, so I would buy any kind of Impala, that's any kind of style that's 1960. That's the year I was born in. So I always
Oh,
wanted
dope.
60. Yeah, I always wanted a 60 wagon, and
Hmm.
I think they have in resin, that kind of stuff. But I never got one.
Yeah.
But they're coming out. They're supposed to come out with that. I think sometime this is fourth quarter. It should be out. Hopefully,
Hmm.
they'll probably announce it. It's coming out soon. But they said
Yeah.
sometime this year. But then somebody would tell me recently, it might be next year.
Okay.
But because what's
If
going
it
on
get
with the
if it
tariffs and
gets
everything,
if it gets pushed, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
with the way the tariffs is going on, everything getting higher, so who knows what's going to happen. But
Hmm.
I'm waiting for it, and when it comes out, I'm buying like six of them. I
Hey.
mean, I don't need six, but I'm buying six,
Yeah, hey,
maybe
there's
even
nothing
more.
wrong. There's nothing wrong. You're like, they're here. Get them
Yeah,
all. Hug them, bring
and
them
just like
in. That's
I can
dope.
have it. It's one of those things. Like I said, I got kits up here. Like for instance, I got the CRX 100 CRX. I got two or three built already, but then I got four more kits I got to build still.
Yeah,
You know, this one of those things. Okay, you get an idea for this kit. I'm about two more because I got another idea I can use it later on down the road.
yeah.
Like different kind of color schemes. You want to open the doors up. Like
Hmm.
I have a Suzuki Samurai. I bought like four of those one
Ooh.
time from Japan.
Hmm.
What's that? Who makes those?
Is it the
Uh,
Fujimi?
yeah, for Jimmy.
Okay.
For Jimmy, I bought four of those at one time. I mean,
Dang.
I got one that's fully custom. I
Hmm.
mean, I cut everything out. I cut the doors out. I cut the tailgate out. I lowered the suspension, making like 80 style, Suzuki style back
Hmm.
in the days. What's it called? Easy E. You probably weren't born then. Back in, back in the 80s.
Yeah, no,
But yeah,
I was born '83.
okay, well
So
you have it. You're a young kid then. But yeah, I got a Suzuki. I cut everything out. Uh, I mean, I buy all these kits, because I have ideas, and I buy them, and I do what I want to do to them, and then I just set them aside because my mind is something else comes out. I want to get that. Like for instance, like I said, the 60 Nomad. I'm waiting for those, but we'll see.
yeah, I have to ask if you were only able to just build like one model kit over and over and over, like that's the only one. What kit would you pick if
One
you had to
more
build it
kit.
forever? Let's say.
Oh man, you know what? My favorite car is like the shoot Mark V Lincoln Continental. The Mark V. It's long and sleek. Like Armando Flores and David Anthony, uh, Las Vegas car.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Hmm.
mean, I wouldn't do no Las Vegas car because I'm not really that great to do that kind of work to it. But so it's long and sleek and with the rims on it, and you have it laid. It looks pretty awesome. That's my favorite car.
Yeah, that would be the one.
It's
Hey,
'77,
is that
'79.
body? Is that a resin body?
Which one?
That one that you just mentioned? Because
Uh, it's the some people have it resin and they have a 3D print.
okay.
Yeah, I did one in both. I did one with resin. I
Hmm.
did one 3D print.
Oh, nice. And
And the three,
do you also collect promos?
you know what? Back then, I used to buy promos because I didn't know back then they were so valuable. So I used to buy them and paint them and cut them up and stuff. But like I said, if I know now, if I know then what I know now, I would have did that. Because this is one me and David DeBarker one day we knows because I was telling you earlier that I was looking at books and find things like any kind of hobby store anybody I can go to. So this one guy, he lived up there at off the 60 freeway. I forgot the Redlands. I forgot somewhere up there. He had a bunch of promos that he was selling. I told David DeBarker, hey man, go to this guy's house. Oh, his name was I think his name was Larry Cornell. It was over. He had a whole room of promos. Daily bought some. I bought mostly Monte Carlos. And but I should bought more than that, different stuff. But my mind was on the '80s cars, and it was good prices too. But I painted them, cut them up, and all that kind of stuff. Wish I had to save them, but they worth a lot of money now. But anyway, but yeah, I have a few of those still. I mean, most of them I have promos. They all built already. I only have a couple that I haven't touched.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, I've got my hands on a couple in the past. I mean, nothing very sought after, but eventually I had some friends that were looking for some of those, and then I ended up like just giving them away. I don't even own any promos, but I feel like later it's gonna be something that I'm gonna start kind of diving into, like certain particular cars.
Mhm.
Um, right now I just it if I see like a 62 Bel Air, the one with the blue box art, it's
Uh,
like I'm gonna buy it. Like just because it's very nostalgic, the box art, but just to have it. I don't know. I already have like a couple of them, but I'll still
you want the
want to
box only, or you want the whole kit?
no, the whole kit. Like if
Oh,
who I always see has them is Cruz.
okay. I'm trying to see. Do I have one up here? I don't think I have it.
I always every time when he's at the like at the SoCal Open or at the
Uh,
different model car shows, or even are you going to be at the NHRA museum later this year in November, I think. The
where's
the
that
car
at?
show that they put out there,
Oh, where's that
the,
at?
the Spirit of Speed in Pomona.
Oh, what days that gonna be on?
It's in November. I can't remember off the bat right now the exact date, but I know that's going to be something I'm going to be promoting as we're getting closer to the date. But it's in
Uh,
November because I'll be
yeah,
out there for
the
that
show
show.
or is the invitational show?
No, it's not invitational. It's just anybody could go to that.
Oh, I didn't know that. I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, yeah. I'll get I'll look for the digital file, like the flyer, and I'll send it
Uh,
over to you. But I
okay.
know it's in November. But like I was saying, like I think it's Dave, right? Dave Cruz.
That's good. You
Yeah,
go to the show?
he always has all the model kits.
Uh,
He was there at the SoCal
oh,
Open. He
Dave.
was
Oh yeah,
vending.
yeah, yeah. The sales kits.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
whenever I see him like set up, I always go and I look, and if I see like a 62 Bel Air, then I'm like, oh man, I'm picking this up.
So man, if you had hit me up last year, I had a bunch of those, but now the boxes are gone. 'Cause I took all the boxes that had the kits in. I'll tell you, I just have them for parts. So I got a lot of parts kits. You know, no, but no
Yeah,
boxes. No
yeah. I'm
boxes.
gonna
I
have
got that
to I'm
stuff.
gonna have to like break mine out and just even if I just put it up right here, like in front of me, like on the shelf, just
Mm.
just to admire it. I don't know. I just like looking at it. It
But you know
takes me
what?
back.
Oh man, I'm not trying to cut you off or anything, but if I see one in my adventures, I get it for you.
All right, on man. Thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah, keep me
yeah,
posted.
yeah.
Dang.
No, I'll hook you up, but for put me on this uh on your site on YouTube. It's an honor. I appreciate you
Nah,
for
man. Likewise, bro. Thank you. Thank you
it's like
for
it's like
being
another
on
step
here.
in my lifetime. I can look back on
Uh-huh.
and say, hey, yeah, I was on YouTube, because I was in the magazine. That's another
Yeah.
big thing. Because once you get in the magazine, YouTube, and you get on TV. Because I was on TV one time, believe
Oh
it or
no,
not.
wait, tell us about that.
Oh, really?
I
Uh,
didn't know about that.
it was it was a show in San Diego. I'm not sure it was the firehouse or the train station. It was like a little small show back in the matter of fact, it's in the one of the magazines. I can't remember which one it's in because I got some cars in there. And the lady, uh, her name was Phoebe Chunchilla. She was the news reporter, and her camera guy was a lowrider guy. He was in a lowrider club, but at the time I didn't know that. So he kind of knew who I was because I was in a club called Just Us, mini trucks. So he knows I guess kind of knew who I was. And so I came outside and they interviewed me. So I just told her blah blah blah. I said, yeah, I like building models. Plus, it's cool for the kids to see, the kids see your work and they get all they like it. It makes you feel good because somebody younger, likes your stuff, or even older too, like your stuff. I mean, I mean that day I didn't win anything because there was a lot of good stuff there, but just the idea, I had the opportunity to be on TV on the news, so that was like another. I can't remember what year that was, but I've been trying to find that video because I have it on VHS, but I have some in VHS tape. I can't. But they're gone now. I throw them in the trash can because once you record some, you can keep recording some else over it, and you can't find which one it was because I didn't mark it. But anyway, I mean, I
Man,
know
that's
her.
cool. I
Yeah,
didn't even
I
know
know
about that.
her. Huh? Yeah, no,
Yeah, I had no idea about this.
yeah, it's one of those things that
Mhm.
people probably forgot back in the days. But it was a local news in San Diego. It wasn't
Mm,
like LA area. It's like only in San Diego.
yeah.
But yeah, I wish I would have had kept that video. But
No, that
get more like I said, more to it than just let it go.
yeah.
Well, I can't find it. But anyway,
Yeah. And so Jarvis, we're gonna wrap up this episode. I
okay,
wanted to
thank you.
ask you, for like the listeners out there, where can we see you this year or next year in the future for like at an upcoming show? Any plans?
Well, you know, what's his name? I forgot his name. I know Dave Chapman and what's his name? They
Oh,
have a show next.
Frankie?
Yeah, Frankie. Yeah, Frankie. They have a show next year, and I think it's like I can forget what month it was off the top of my head. Be at that show, and I'm gonna be, of course, at the other show we was at this year, for the kids, boys club over there in Chatsworth. I'll be at that show. I'm planning to be at that show also. Yeah, I need to get one of the flyers. I need to order from you. Get some stuff
Yeah.
from
All
you.
right, check it out. All right, guys. Thank you for bringing this up. So Jarvis just said he's going to be at the show. I'm going to be here at this show too. I hope you go to this show too. So let's plug it in for the guys here. So this is going to be going down next year. All right. It's the first annual Left Coast Scale Classic 2026. Theme mini trucks. I know, hey, you love mini trucks. I hope you bring some of your mini trucks here. And
I'm working on a
then
new one.
let's see. So this is going to be April 25th, 2026, Ventura County Fairgrounds, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Model car display and hobby swap meet. Admission is 25 bucks. And for more info, visit leftcoastscaleclassic.com. Dang, there you go, guys. Let me see how close we can get to the flyer right here. But yeah, this event, man, it's gonna be great to see you there at this one.
Yeah,
So,
I got some stuff. I got some stuff I'm working on. I hope it's. I'm not. So I bought the air brakes for that show. So I'm gonna try to
all
practice.
right,
I'm gonna try to get some better paint jobs that
yeah,
I've been doing, and
nice.
so, so hopefully everything works out okay.
Mhm.
I'll have some good stuff there. Hopefully, that everybody will like.
Yeah. No, yeah. Because yeah, so this event, this is Frankie. I mean, most people know him, Frankie the Greaser. Also, Big Dave as well. Going to be putting this together. So this is fun. I mean, we're going to keep promoting, plugging the show in. We'll definitely be out there. You know, you guys that are watching this that have been in the chat, active and everything. Thank you guys for tuning in and just everyone later. Jarvis, I'll send you the video so you can see it and you can even check the chat so you can read all the comments and everything from everybody on here. That's pretty cool. Thank you everybody that came around
Yeah.
and
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
tuned in. And then this was nice. It was a pleasure having you on. I know it's Tuesday, tomorrow's a work day and everything, but I just like that. I'm very happy that we were able to do this and you took the time to be a guest here on our show.
Thank you for inviting me and having me on.
Yeah.
One more guy I want to mention that I'm not sure if he's still around. He might. I haven't seen him. He's a guy named Jesse Hamasia. He is the guy I work at his hobby store back in the days, back in the '90s. that I got like a lot of my kids from, and gave me like a lot of ideas how to polish my cars and how to withstand my cars back then. So thanks to him too, also.
Oh, that's nice, man. Nah, that's awesome. Well, thank you, Jarvis.
Hey, thank you.
We'll have to bring you back in the future to keep us updated. Most likely, like after retirement, it would have to be like a follow up. Like, how's everything? You know, that'd be cool to see how
Okay,
everything's
that
going.
sounds good. That sounds good.
So,
I hope I have some better stuff for you guys, and maybe some more ideas and stuff, and more uh give progress on my airbrushing.
yeah, yeah. Hey, we're all rooting for you here. All right,
Okay,
definitely.
thanks.
All
And thanks
right.
guys for tuning in, guys. I hope everything was okay, and you learned a little more about me that you didn't know about me. And if you see me at any of these shows, say hi to me because I don't know who people are because I'm bad at names, and sometimes I can't put the name to the face unless I see you quite often. But I appreciate it. Just come up to me and say, "Hey, Jarvis, remember me? I'm your friend on Instagram. My name is this here." Then just let me know what you built. I can tell you. But I appreciate it.
Oh man, that's awesome. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. With my guest Jarvis Malone, he's going to be heading out. I'm going to be heading out, and tune in next week. We'll be back with another Scale Riders podcast episode. I hope everybody has a good night and peace out. Stay
Good
safe.
night.
Keep building. Good night.
Cheers,
Later.
everybody. Thank you.